This is Asia Pacific Update. Pohang Iron and Steel is warning a US steel probe could delay price increases. Korea's third largest steel maker says a possible cut in US steel imports could increase supplies in Europe and Asia. That would delay an expected increase in international prices beyond the third quarter. The US may invoke a law to reduce imports if an investigation finds foreign producers are harming the US industry. The US earlier put tariffs on steel shipments by Japan's Nippon Steel, China's Shanghai Baowu Steel and other Asian makers accused of selling the metal at below cost. Expectations of more disappointing corporate earnings out of the US saw the Nasdaq snap its four-day rally. Hong Kong stocks followed, led by computer and telecom stocks like China Unicom. However, some analysts think an upturn could come by August, when business is expected to improve for US technology companies. To tell us more about the outlook for telecom stocks in Asia, World Sec International's Vice President N. Balakrishnan joins us from Hong Kong. Thank you very much for joining us. Do you agree with views that signs business is improving for US technology companies should surface by August?
Well, technology is a very large sector. No doubt, the fortunes of some of the companies will improve. But my expertise is on TMT, which is telecoms sector. And the fortunes of all the technology companies are not necessarily identical. For example, if the telecoms equipment maker is in trouble and dumps the equipment at a cheap price, and the telecom company buys it at a cheap price, see, the telecom operator can actually benefit, whereas the telecom equipment maker does not. So on that basis, we have to differentiate between the consumers of technology as well as the makers of technology. There's been a huge build-up of inventory and investments in various sectors of technology. And those companies may not necessarily see an upturn so quickly. However, those consumers who depend on cheaper prices may well benefit. Whether they will benefit as quickly as August, I am not so sure. But they will benefit within the 12 months, let's say.
Yeah, you say, of course, it's a diverse sector, but highlighting a couple of the major names in the region, what are their prospects for the second half?
Asia is in a slightly different situation from the telecoms operators in Europe and even the United States. They were laggards when it comes to investing in new technology, and so were the region's governments when they were trying to auction off the 3G licenses. At one time, these were thought of to be as liabilities, but ironically, it is now turned out to be an asset. So as a result of the fact that the Asian companies did not acquire 3G licenses at very great cost, they're actually not laden with debt the way, for example, the telcos in Europe are.
Well, when are you expecting... Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, when are you expecting a revival in telecom stocks in Asia?
Well, some of the telecom stocks like China Unicom, China Mobile and so on already revived, not to the highs they reached, say, last year, but, they have revived from the lows. Whether they will, they have quite a good income stream from existing 2G technology, and that organic growth in that technology will see them through next few years. So they already revived, and they can be bought on the basis of existing income stream from old technology, so to speak, the 2G. Whether they will have a quantum leap in revenues when the 3G is introduced in the next few years, the timing of that is very difficult to predict at this point, except to say that it's at least 4 or 5 years away.
Looking at some possible attractive stocks out there, I mean, we've got Singtel that's been trading at a low. It bounced a little when Li Xianyang bought some of the stock himself. Which telcos do you like the look of in Asia?
We like the Chinese operators the best because they have immense growth ahead of them, and the China Unicom, China Mobile. And in Hong Kong, we like some of the smaller operators like Smartphone, in which, like, for example, British Telecom has a stake in, but British Telecom has stated publicly they are going to get rid of their stakes. And so some strategic telco from outside the region is going to come and acquire it. And even though Hong Kong market is much smaller than, say, China's and growing at a much slower rate, it is a very mature market. And it's when you introduce 3G technology, you are the possibilities of getting more revenue here are greater.
Well, we've
So
seen
we like the...
I'm sorry, we've seen the demise of the Australian phone company OneTel. What are some of the other telcos in the region we should be avoiding in the second half?
I think, none of the telcos we cover are in danger of going bankrupt or belly up. I think the OneTel was a special case. There seems to have been some irregularities involved there. So in the rest of the region, we can't think of anything that is in imminent danger of collapse.
So to sum up the second half for Asian telcos?
Well, I think you should stay in there. We cannot predict a quick recovery, but the telcos are going to be the carriers of information for the future. So, and they have fallen from much higher levels reached earlier. So at this rate, we may not be able to predict a quick upturn, but it's worth staying in.
So hang in there. Thank you very much for joining us. That was World Sec's Bala joining us there from Hong Kong. Looking ahead in the Asia-Pacific region for tomorrow, Singapore's food and beverage maker Fraser and Neave is reporting